Rich Dad, Poor Dad, five financial lessons that will change your life. The question I have for you is, would you like to learn the secret of financial success that are not taught in school? Now, this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is going to help you beyond money by fixing your mindset. It's a very powerful book which was published in 1997. It has sold over 44 million copies. It has been translated into about 51 languages and it has sold into more than 109 countries. That tells you a lot about the book. It is about 336 pages long and you can actually finish reading the whole book in 6 to 7 hours. But in today's video and lesson, I'm going to be telling you five of the very powerful takeaways of this book and the lessons. So the first very powerful lesson is the rich don't work for money. Now, in this part, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad taught him earlier on that wealthy people focus on building assets instead of trading their time for money. Now, you can see a term over here, Kiyosaki's Rich Dad. So this brings us to the topic, who is the rich dad, who is the poor dad? I'm just going to give you a summary of the whole book. This book has about four characters. We have Robert, who is the narrator, Robert Kiyosaki, and also the author of this book. Then we have Mike, which is Robert's friend. These are two kids who became friends in a younger stage of their lives. Now, Rich Dad is actually Mike's father, who is a rich businessman in Hawaii who was into real estate and also owning hotels, hospitals, and stuff, and real estate and everything. And then the poor dad is actually Robert Kiyosaki's father, who is actually a poor government worker. Now, the premise of this book is the fact that a young boy who is born into a poor family has the opportunity to be a friend with the son of a rich guy, and then he has the opportunity to learn the mindset of these two people. Hence, the first lesson, the rich don't work for money, came because Robert and Mike decided to go to Mike's father, who is the rich dad, to go and work for him so that they can earn some money. And in the process, they realized that after 1 week, 2 weeks, they've been working, but Mike's father was not paying them anything. So these boys got angry and they decided to go to the man and ask him, hey, we've been working for you for close to a month and something like that, and you've not paid us. And he said, let me teach you a lesson. The rich don't work for money. The moment I pay you salary, you guys are going to become slaves to me and you will just be waiting upon me and dependent on salary. So the best lesson I taught you here is that you don't wait on money, but rather you go out there and do something for yourself or learn the skills. So that is the first lesson. Now let's go into that. We need to shift our mindset from earning a paycheck to creating income generating assets like investment, business, or real estate. He said, think about how investing in rental properties could provide you with passive income, unlike a 9 to 5 job that limits your earning potential. Because in a 9 to 5, you are only limited to the amount of hours you can work multiplied by the hourly rate that you can make. But when you expand your horizon into something that can generate you passive income or things that are investment that can generate you an income on the side, there you can increase your potential. This leads us to the second lesson. The second lesson is financial education is key. Now, schools teach you how to get a job, but not how to manage your money. Very important, how to manage our money. Now, the key takeaway over here is you need to educate yourself about money. We need to learn how to read financial statements. I'm going to give a note over here, financial statements, understand investments, and identify opportunities. It's a great point to say that we need to educate ourselves regardless of what you're studying, regardless of the course that you're taking. Everybody needs to understand something about financial statements. In today's world, one of the greatest of all times, the greatest of all times when it comes to investment is Warren Buffett. One of the good things that he knows how to do good is to read financial statements. When I say financial statements, we are talking about certain financial reports such as the profit and loss, the balance sheet, the income statement, income and expenditure, and then the cash flow. These are great metrics that we use to measure and to understand the state of a particular company or a particular business or whatever you want to go into. Let's say profit and loss. Profit and loss also shows actually what the company is making in terms of the profit, or after they have taken away all the expenses and stuff like that, what is left behind. Now we talk about the cash flow of a company. It tells you the inflow of cash and out of it. Cash is actually the blood of every business. The sustenance and the survival of any business is actually dependent on its cash flow. So sometimes people look at the balance sheet and they say, amazing, this capital is increasing, there's a capital gain, this company is doing well, but actually it is falling because they are not able to manage their cash flow. And when you are not able to manage your cash flow, you will not get loans from the bank and your business is about to go bankrupt in a very short time. So we all need to have some financial knowledge for ourselves, not even for the sake of investment, but learn how to manage your own money, and this will lead to your financial freedom. And then the second one, which we're going to talk about, is because if you understand the principle of compound interest and you understand how compound interest works, you will start to invest or save your money earlier on. Now, compound interest has been said to be the eighth wonder of the world. And let me explain what is compound interest. In business, we have two types of interest calculation. We have the simple rate interest, and we also have the compound rate. And when you put your money into an investment or you put your money into a savings and you're going to receive an interest back, let's say you invest $10, or let's say we go for $100 into an investment fund, and then they tell you that, hey, for the money you are investing with us or you're saving with us, we're going to give you a 10% interest on this money at the end of the year. A 10% interest on the $100 is going to give you $110. Now this $110 will be added to it, and at the end of the first year you have $110. Amazing. Now, the second year, you might be wondering, okay, it's still going to be $10. No, this time around, it's not going to be $10. This time around, the 10% is going to be calculated not on your $100, but rather on your $110. This is the power of compound interest. Generally, because it's for small money, you will not see the impact of it. But the reason why the rich keep on getting richer and the poor getting poorer is because the rich actually has the power. They have the leverage because they have this amount of money, they put it there, it compounds. I'm going to give a simple example like my social media journey. When I started my social media, it started growing by one person, two people, three people per day. But with time, it started blowing up. And now I got to see about 100 people a day, 1,000 people a day. Before I could get to 100K, it means that the account was not growing at one, two. There was a day that I reached 10,000 new followers in one day. That is how crazy the account can actually grow and blow up. So you have to believe in the power of compound interest. And when you understand this principle, you will start to save your money faster and you start to save your money earlier. The next lesson is you have to mind your assets and liabilities. The rich focus on accumulating assets while the poor and the middle class accumulate liabilities they think are assets. This is a very important point. The poor are actually accumulating liabilities that they think are assets. So the thing is, this is an education problem because many people don't know what is the difference between an asset and the difference between a liability. As a PhD student in business, I have the understanding. But let's look at what Robert Kiyosaki said, which is the most profound, perfect quote of all times in this particular book. And I'm going to say this, and it says in simple terms, an asset puts money into your pocket while a liability takes money out. That is as simple as you can understand it. So what is an asset? Asset is something that puts money into your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So the example is that shiny new car that you want to buy. It may look very exciting, but unless it generates income, it is a liability, not an asset. So let's look at this. A car that you buy to use it for Uber, and it's going to generate you, let's say, about $1,000 every week. That is an asset because the car is putting money into your pocket. But when you buy a car for yourself to take to the job and you're going to be making money, making any money from that, but rather you're going to be putting money into it to buy the gas and take care of the maintenance and stuff like that. This is a liability because rather it is taking money out of your pocket. And that's as simple as that. So in a recap, assets puts money into your pocket, liabilities take money out of your pocket. The fourth lesson is the power of entrepreneurship. Rich Dad emphasized creating businesses or investment that generate income, even when you are not working. If you think beyond your job and you think beyond the horizon of just one source of income and start to create other sources of income, you'll be able to get to a level where the side hustle that you call it a side hustle, something you started on the side, will start to generate you income over time. And that is the only powerful thing about entrepreneurship that you need to understand. So today I'm going to tell you my story before I get to the fifth lesson. The story over here is as simple as, let me bring it back here. The story is as simple. I started with teaching people lessons, and I used to go to their house. And I realized that, oh, I cannot go because now the demand is a lot and I cannot go from one place to the other. It's becoming difficult. Then I decided, okay, why not I do it online where I can jump on one lesson to the other? It was powerful. One person, one lesson, but it's on Zoom, so I can jump from one lesson to the other. Then I decided, hey, why not start something like group lesson? People who have similar needs, and I put them in one place and I teach them English. Then I realized that they got to a time that was amazing, but they got to a time that I could not match and reach everybody because I have to increase the number. Then I said, hey, why not sit down and record my lessons like what I'm doing right now and put it on a very great platform like Udemy? And that's what happened. And I placed my lessons over there. And why not record my lessons and put it on a platform that I can sell to my students? And that's how it happened. And that's how I learned to create courses and put it there. And now it is selling by itself. It started as a side hustle, but now that is my general, most important income source that I use as of now. The fifth and a very powerful lesson is also overcome fear and greed. Emotions like fear, the fear of losing money, and greed, wanting quick wealth, often hold people back. The most important thing about this book is the fact that it mentioned the two sides. The first one is the fear of losing money, which is a generalized fear and also very well accepted. We understand that. And then also the other side, which is greed. People are greedy, they want to make money fast. So the fear of losing money is the reason why people are not making investments, is the reason why people are not starting their businesses, is the reason why people have the ideas, but they don't want to start. And then the greed is why people have no patience and they are rushing into things, calling themselves investors. Meanwhile, they are gamblers. The book actually mentions these two powerful factors, which says that there is a difference between investing and a difference between gambling. Now, one other great book, which is actually The Intelligent Investor, talks about the fact that if you make reasonable calculated risk, that's when you become an investor, not a gambler. So a person putting money into a stock market by not knowing anything about the stock market or going into forex without knowing anything about forex or foreign exchange, that person is simply gambling, just looking at the charts and trying to just match up and then cash out of the market. These people are controlled by these two emotions, the first one being fear and the second one being greed. Any investor who goes into a market with a spirit of greed actually loses their money. Why? Because when they are in the market, they have no principles. They have no principles to get out of the market at the right place. So they stuck in there, and that's what leads them to lose money after money after money. And it also leads us to the powerful principle of the sunk cost fallacy. The sunk cost fallacy is a principle in business that states that we put in good money after bad money, thinking that this time around we can save it because we've put a lot of effort into something that we think that we don't want to let it go. So that's what happens to many investors. They put money into a stock, they put money into an investment fund, and it is falling. It is falling, but they are like, maybe this time around, maybe this time around, maybe this time around I can hold it. It happens in business, it happens in relationship. That's why many people have been in unreasonable relationship for quite a long time, but they don't have the courage to get out of it because they are thinking, I've invested too much, I don't want to let it go. So that's the principle of the sunk cost fallacy. So be bold. You are going to have to learn how to manage these emotions so you can make calculated, informed decisions about your money. So instead of avoiding investments out of fear, you should educate yourself to reduce the risk and take smart actions. But how are we going to do this? Instead of fearing investment, you have to educate yourself and take step-by-step steps to minimize this. And that is it for the 5 lessons. The Rich Dad Poor Dad is not just about money, it's about a new way of thinking. By applying these lessons, like building assets, prioritizing financial education, and creating multiple income streams, you can break free from financial struggles and build lasting wealth. So, which of these lessons will you start applying today? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd like you to go ahead to just like and subscribe because I'll be making quite a lot of videos and book summaries like this. Don't forget to share with a friend that would like to see this and you like to be successful with. And until I see you in the next videos, take care. Bye-bye. I'm Gamalinex.